Good morning, everyone. Good to see you all here. I will be speaking today, first of all, about a provincial by-election, then about some of our plans for the fall, and finally about recent statements about the government of Alberta made by a candidate in the current federal election. So, first of all, the people of Calgary Foothills will be voting in a by-election, which will be held on Thursday, September 3rd. This by-election is necessary because of the resignation of the former leader of the Conservative Party on election night. I was hopeful that we would be able to get a new MLA elected before the federal campaign began. Unfortunately, that has turned out not to be possible. However, I still believe very strongly that it is absolutely appropriate to call this by-election now to ensure that the people of Foothills are represented in the legislature when the Alberta legislature reconvenes this fall for deliberations on many issues, not the least of which, of course, is the provincial budget. During this by-election campaign, we'll be talking about the good work Alberta's new government is doing for the people of Calgary and for all Albertans. Every family in Alberta will benefit from the work of the new cancer centre that we will be building in Calgary. And we are also getting to work to complete Calgary's ring road. And we'll be getting to work shortly on flood protection. And we are focused, I believe, on the right priorities overall. Which brings me to my second point, our plans for the fall. The legislature will reconvene in October, likely on October 26th. We will present a provincial budget that restores stability to our hospitals and to our schools. Our budget will also set out a roadmap to a balanced budget without self-defeating, unnecessary, and damaging cutbacks to healthcare and education that Albertans need and want. And as we all know, there has been a significant drop in the international price of oil. Albertans have seen price booms and busts many times before, and we all see the price that we pay for being too dependent on one commodity and one price and for failing to save for a rainy day. So the government of Alberta will therefore be also setting out a job creation and economic development plan this fall. Our plan will address the infrastructure Alberta needs for a more modern and diversified economy. Our plan will address how we can support small and medium-sized business and manufacturing. Our plan will promote trade development and trade diversification, and our plan will promote innovation and diversification and employment options, similar to what we spoke about during the election. The details will be presented during the session. And finally, we'll be acting on the challenges we face on climate change, and we will be considering what our royalty structure should look like as international prices recover. Next week, we will be announcing more details about the expert panels that we will consult on both of these issues. So, a fiscal plan, a jobs plan, a climate plan, and a royalty plan. I think these are a few issues anyway that the new MLA for Calgary Foothills and all of their colleagues will be able to consider and debate in the legislature this fall. Let me conclude with a few brief remarks about federal politics. So it is unusual for prime ministers and premiers to attack each other during federal election campaigns. We've all been elected to serve the people. And to do that, I believe that we need to work to try and get along. And we need to be able to maintain relationships that allow us to work together. For the record, I completely reject the Conservative campaign's comments about the decisions of the people of Alberta that they made last spring. Whether their federal cousins like it or not, the people of Alberta decided they had enough of the Conservative government in this province, and they decided to elect a new government that made a commitment, which we kept, to replace a regressive and unfair health levy. In place of that levy, we introduced a normal corporate tax rate, and we introduced a normal progressive income tax system that asks those who've done the best to contribute a little bit more. We don't have a sales tax in Alberta, so Alberta continues to have by far the lowest overall provincial taxes in Canada. We are also not going to implement a $1 billion cut to healthcare in Alberta, as the former Conservative government proposed to do. And we set out these priorities during the Alberta election campaign. Now, the Conservatives, in two different flavors, laid out their cutback proposals, and the people of Alberta made their choice. So we're going to keep working to to deliver on the commitments that we made to the people of Alberta. And we will work to advance those commitments with whoever is elected to run the federal government on October 19th, as amicably and as cooperatively as they choose to allow. Because that's what I believe Albertans voted for, that's what Albertans are looking for from their leadership, and that's what I will continue to endeavour to provide. So I'm happy to take questions.